Mr. Speaker, we take note of the energy and the zeal with which the Minister for Local Government, Honorable Balaam Barugahare, is doing work out there. Mr. Speaker, the reality is that some of us have been vindicated. That's why we are beaming with a smile. Why? For a long time we have talked about corruption. We have screamed our voices hoarse. And as we were exposing this corruption and corrupt tendencies, we were branded as enemies of progress, you know, that we are anti the state, and all of these different things, that we are malicious. Forgetting that when corruption is tackled, it's for the good of all of us. When we talk about corruption as opposition people, it's not because we are opposition. First, we are citizens of this country. And so when we tackle corruption, it's for the good of all of us. Mr. Speaker, years ago, there was an entity called Uganda Airlines, which myself, together with other people, we went head-on against the corruption therein, and were branded all manner of names. But time has a way of vindicating us. And now, action is being taken in that entity. Parliament became a subject of corruption, and many of us were called names. And we said, no, let's deal with the issue. And we have been vindicated. So it's very important. Now, Mr. Speaker, this is not even for the Honorable Balaam. This is for government generally. If government is really serious about the corruption fight, it needs to empower the anti-corruption agencies. You see, if you expect that Honorable Balaam is about to tire out, the work that he's doing, running here, running there, and so on, it's good to scratch the surface. It only scratches the surface. It does not fight corruption to the core. And that's why we must empower the anti-corruption agencies and allow them independence in their operations. Because, yes, as I've said, the individual raids, they can cause excitement here and there, but in the long run, what happens when corruption is not fought institutionally? He will run around, scratch here, and then he will go to another place. But because the institutional capacity has not been developed, they will continue to do their own things as he has gone elsewhere and that kind of thing. It is not sustainable, Mr. Speaker. Also, the challenge these agencies do suffer. Sometimes when they go after the big shots, they are told, you keep off this one. And so we end up wasting time. Go slow on some of these individuals. We send a wrong message when some are touchable and others are not touchable, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, where are these agencies? Because sometimes I have seen the concern that some of these agencies have issues. Let's deal with the structural issues. But it becomes a problem when we begin to duplicate. The State House Anti-Corruption Unit, the State House Investor Protection Unit, and all of these. The genesis of these was the IGG at the time was not doing their job. If the IGG is not doing their job, fire them, hire the right one. So now what happens when these others also fail on duty? Are we going to create a third layer? So we cannot keep duplicating. If an entity is failing on job, hire the right people, fire the other ones, as opposed to duplicating. Because where do you stop with this? Mr. Speaker, the fight against corruption should not be selective, should not be seen to be selective. That's very, very important, that both the small and the big fish are targeted. When there is a perception that some small people can be touched, those who are building bad bridges, a bridge that should cost about 50 million shillings, but people who are stealing billions of shillings are not touched, we are sending a wrong message. And so it should be an all-round kind of approach. And there are numerous examples, Mr. Speaker. In the last parliament, we had the challenge of the Karamoja iron sheets that were taken where they should not have gone. And some people seemed to have been untouchable. Right now, the Honorable Agnes Nadutu is in jail. And for me, I don't even defend that she should not be in jail. If she stole iron sheets, she should be in jail. But is she the only one who took iron sheets made for Karamoja? No, and that's the reality. So when we do the fight against corruption selectively, we are sending a wrong message. We cannot send a message that some are touchable and others are not touchable. That's problematic.